But we do want to begin with the very latest on Osama bin Laden and what U.S. officials have uncovered in that treasure trove of materials that was taken from the compound. Now, at the time he was killed, it may appear that he was planning to attack the United States again, and possibly on the 10th anniversary of 9/11. That, of course, is just months away. This is the first bit of news to come from that intelligence data found in bin Laden's Pakistan hideout. CBS News Homeland Security correspondent Bob Orr is in Washington this morning with more on this. Bob, what are you hearing about plots? We're hearing things about trains. I mean, and what was the planning stage that all this was at?
Erica, all of this information comes from handwritten notes that were recovered from bin Laden's compound by the Navy SEALs. And they show that al-Qaeda was interested, as you say, in mounting an attack on trains somewhere in the U.S. and most likely to commemorate the 10th anniversary of 9/11. Now, these writings were made in February 2010, about a year ago, and they suggested that operatives might try things like sabotaging rails in an effort to cause crashes. This part's important, though. There's no evidence that this idea ever advanced into an actual plot. That said, the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security, though, have put out an alert to police and train operators, but as a matter of precaution.
As a matter of precaution, still, though, does make you sit up and take notice. Are there any other specifics that are really sort of causing red flags in here?
Well, there's all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's pretty clear that bin Laden had big ideas. He was still actively dreaming up new potential attacks against America. Now, sources tell us that there were memos, for example, found listing major American cities as targets. It's the usual suspects: New York, Washington, Chicago, Los Angeles. All were mentioned in these writings found in bin Laden's lair. And the writings also suggest that al-Qaeda might want to attack on specific holidays and anniversaries. I mentioned 9/11. They also mentioned things like July 4th and New Year's Eve, New Year's Day as potential target dates. That's very interesting because al-Qaeda has usually attacked when it's ready to attack and has not been governed at all by the calendar.
So some interesting specifics in there: potential dates, potential targets, even potential planning. But you mentioned these were notes. Did those give any indication as to just how involved Osama bin Laden really was in the terror network at this point?
Well, you hit the big point right there. The documents make it clear above everything else that bin Laden, right up until the end on Sunday, was still very much at the center of al-Qaeda and al-Qaeda's plans. You know, he completely dropped out of sight after a videotape appearance in 2007, but he was clearly still actively involved and apparently running the show. As far as we know, the analysts have not found any evidence of imminent plots, and that's important, but we're told there is very valuable information about the al-Qaeda network. As one official put it to me yesterday, this was a real window into bin Laden's world.
Talk about an important window. Bob Orr in Washington this morning. Thanks.